Welcome back to the Get Off the Treadmill podcast for practice owners and leaders, where we are obsessed with how to build a successful practice and get a life too. Hi, I'm Chuck Blakeman, and we're going to dive into another topic that helps us make more money in less time, get off the treadmill, and rehumanize dentistry by giving everybody their brain back. Today, I'm talking with Dr. Sten Ericson. He owns 2 practices with a team and patient base that has quadrupled in size over the last 4 years in California. He is a COIS graduate and a board member of the AACD's Public Education Committee, along with maintaining memberships with a variety of dental academies. He and his wife reside in Santa Barbara with their 2 boys. Sten, it's a pleasure to have you on today.
Oh, thanks for having me, Chuck.
And it's a double pleasure because of this topic. I know when we talked off air, you said, I gave you this topic. I was just kind of joking, but we grabbed it. The topic today is 100 ways to screw up your dental career from your own personal expertise. And I love this because I tell people I built 12 businesses in 8 industries on 4 continents. And I can tell you, I'm building my 13th. And having built 12 businesses and starting my 13th, I have no freaking idea what I'm doing. And either do you. And if you tell me you do, I know you're blowing smoke.
I have no idea.
Yeah, but I mean, and I'm talking to my audience out there as well. Yeah, there's principles, there's practices. We have 12 tools of building a practice, participation age practice. But I don't care how many times you take the same path on a hike or on the same route on the road, something different is happening throughout the whole process. And we are making this up as we go along. We are reacting and responding to things. Yes, the better you understand the principles and the tools, the quicker you can fix this stuff. But honest to goodness, I'm building my 13th business, and I really have no idea. I'm groping my way through this. So I love that. And I know I'm in okay, we're all in okay company with this. Richard Branson, among others. Richard Branson is famous now, probably 8 or 10 years ago. He told the story of being in a board meeting after he's already a billionaire and owns, 100 or 200 companies. He's sitting in a board meeting with his board, and they're talking balance sheets and profit and loss statements. And one of the board members, who knew him very well, stopped the meeting and looked at him and said, "You have no idea what we're talking about, do you?" And he just shrugged his shoulders and said, "Nope, no clue." Dude's a billionaire, doesn't know how to read a profit and loss statement.
Yeah, I wish I could have been a billionaire before I learned how to read profit and loss stuff.
Yeah, but what's the point of that story is somebody, I guarantee you, he had somebody, including that board, he had people who knew how to read profit and loss statements and interpret it for him. He's ADHD and dyslexic like I am, although I think he's worse. But it's one of those things that keeps you from learning certain things real well or just having any interest in them. And I just take real comfort in guys like that and many more like that who had no clue how to get there. I graduated toward the bottom of my class in high school. It took me 19 years to get a college degree, and I finally got it just to make my mom happy because my brother and sister had both gotten their masters from Ivy League schools. But I'm the one guy who built 12 businesses in 8 industries in 4 continents. So, the point of that rant is one of the things I learned about leadership was a leader does not have to do everything. A leader has to make sure everything gets done. It's a very subtle, powerful difference. I don't have to do things. I have to make sure things get done. So Richard Branson doesn't have to read a balance sheet. He has to make sure it gets read. So with that intro, I just wanted to give you and all of our audience an opportunity to relax and say, okay, I'm not the only guy making this up as I go along. I remember my first 5 or 6 businesses. Hey, how's business? I'd be 3 weeks in or 2 months in. How's business? Oh, business is great. And then in my head, I'm saying I'm dying inside. Now, I'm waking up in cold sweats at 3. No, businesses are great. It's all great. Everything's great. We present this false front, and I just wish we all could stop doing that. So I love this topic, and it's why I wanted to go on this rant to begin with, to just give everybody an opportunity to understand that we've all screwed this up, and now we just want to hear how you did it. So when you came out of dental school, first thing is, when you came out of dental school, how much did you think you knew about dentistry and the business of dentistry at that point?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's like most kids. You get out of dentistry, and they really they stroke you pretty good. And
you knew a lot at that point, right?
Yeah, you come out thinking that you're God's gift. And in reality, and every dentist knows this, you just know enough not to kill someone. And it's,
Yeah.
and I did everything I can. I probably did more C in dental school than probably most people, and learned a lot. And I thought I was ready to go and do a bunch of crazy stuff. And then I did. And the first month or so, you get humbled very, very quickly.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm the same way. That in my first business, I figured I probably know 50% of what it means to run a business. And by my fourth business, I think I know about 20% about what it needs. And by my 12th business, I think I'm at about 5% of what I need to know to run a business. And it just keeps going down.
The more you learn, the more you realize you don't know.
Exactly. The more you learn, the more you realize you don't know. When I was a golfer and I was like a 12 handicap, which is not bad, I figured I knew about 50% of what I needed to become a golfer, a real good golfer. And then I took lessons for a few years and really got into it and became a 1.9. And at 1.9, I really did honestly think I knew about 5% of what I needed to know to be a scratch golfer. It just kept going down. Yep. So that's a humbling thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it definitely is. Yeah.
But it's a good way for us to approach this. So any great stories about when you began to realize you maybe didn't know as much as you thought in those early days? Was there a crisis moment or a big aha, or was it just a gradual awakening over a few months or a year that you were not as smart as you thought you were, not as experienced?
Yeah, a lot of it's early on. It was a lot of patient care, and I think clinically most dentists can, we can cut preps, we can place implants, whatever it is we do. That's the easy part of dentistry, right? I mean, it's the hands-on stuff. When people can't talk, right? It's when we let people talk that the problems really start happening. And that's kind of what I realized is that, I'm not in dental school anymore. I went to USC. And so it's kind of in this, in South Central Los Angeles. They didn't pay a whole lot for me to do that work. And so they were happy no matter what I did. And some of them weren't even that happy.
Do you remember anything in particular, not that you have to, but anything that you remember that helped you improve, that you began to see, okay, I need to do this, and whether it's in operations or in the operatory or in the business or both? There's, people love to hear how others groped along and found some success. Is there one place where you finally said, hey, I think I'm beginning to get this one?
Yeah, it was kind of talking people on their level very early on, and kind of, really learning how to communicate with people, because you're so focused with the clinical side of dentistry for so long, 4 or 5 years. And then you start realizing that you have to basically, teach people and coach them, and they become your patients, and they have to like you and believe you. And that was the thing. So it's kind of learning the soft skills was the biggest, it was the hardest thing, and I think the most rewarding, and the thing that kind of definitely took my career.
And that's not one of your courses in dental schools, the soft skills, or you don't role play questions from your chair.
No, absolutely not. It's go downstairs and pay and come back when you're done, and we'll start. And that's about it.
It's a little more complex than that.
A whole lot different than when you get out. That's for sure.
Yeah, people have this bad habit of being human, and the complexities of that come to our chair, and then you realize I got to do more than what I thought I had to do. That's great.
Yep.
So, is there are there like top 3 things you had that you had right but found out later you had room to grow? Is there any 1 or 2 or 3 things you said, yeah, I had this, and maybe I didn't have this?
Yeah. For me, it was definitely the soft skills, which we talked about earlier. It was definitely blood, sweat, and tears, and thinking that was a business plan. That was a big one for me. It was definitely paying for culture and thinking that everyone liked me. And that was a big one, I think. Yeah. Chuck and I have talked about that one a few times here.
Rent-a-friends. We call those rent-a-friends.
Rent-a-friends, yeah. We had a great culture, but then, when the money didn't come in, the culture wasn't so good. So, yeah. But we when growing my business, and the blood, sweat, and tears part is, that's been a tough one, because it's been me working a lot of hours and trying to grow these businesses. And then we try to get other doctors and other team members to do what you do, or at least do care the way you care, and have the values that you have. That's when it becomes really, really hard. And you see things kind of go a different direction. So.
Yeah, I remember one of mine was thinking that if I could just sit in an ivory tower and figure it all out and put a business plan together and just think through all the contingencies, all those kinds of things, I just felt so secure once I did that. And it got me excited about starting a business. And then the first week in the business, that thing would begin to fall apart. And
Yeah.
years later, I saw this, I can't remember if it was Mike Tyson or somebody who said, everybody's got a plan until they get hit in the mouth. And then later on, I put this in my second book, that there was this guy in World War I, before World War I, this General Thiessen, or I can't remember his name, but he did a battle plan right down to invade Europe before World War I. He did a German battle plan right down to resupplying shoelaces to the front line. I mean, that is excruciating detail. And then a few years after World War I, one of the generals, whether it was him or another German general, said, no battle plan survives its first encounter with the enemy.
Yep.
And that's the truth with getting out of dental school or anything else we do. We feel like we've got this, and then it collides with the real world, and off we go. So that was a rude awakening. Another one for me was I could work really hard. And if I just worked really hard, something good was going to happen. You just have to work really hard. And that's it's sort of the old Protestant ethic, a good man works hard. And but I realized that in many cases what happened there was I just became a hostage to my business. Even if it was successful, I wasn't, because all I did was learn how to work hard. So I think the first one falls under the mantra. Years later, I developed the mantra: planning does not create movement. Movement creates the plan.
Mm-hmm.
You look at successful practices, and they had a little something up front, but then they got moving, and the rest of the plan unfolded because they got moving in it. And that's really hard for us to deal with, especially in a technical field where we're taught, let's get this all figured out before you hurt a patient. You're not going to hurt your business in the same way. You're going to hurt your business by not moving. That's how we hurt our business side. So planning doesn't create movement. Movement creates a plan is maybe a good mantra for this segment. So and the role of others in helping you get there. Any mentors or team members or other CEs, or how have you continued to build your base of knowledge?
Yeah, I mean, we've definitely had multiple consultants over the years. Chuck, you've helped out a ton, that's for sure. And we have some pretty great team members, mainly a manager who Chuck,
Yeah.
But they all kind of fit at certain stages of my career. And what we've kind of realized is, someone that really helped me out in the beginning stages was great. I look back on those times and really we're thankful. But if I went back to them for advice right now, it would be more than almost worthless. And we've had a few kind of, iterations of that, but it's, finding that right person to talk to, or that right group to talk to, or that right hire at a certain stage is hard. And because if you find that person or that consultant or that hire just a little bit too late, it's too late. You almost got to find them a little bit early, before you're ready. And that's been a little bit of a challenge.
Yeah, and that's the art of business as well, is figuring out what don't I know. I used to say only the paranoid survive. Now I say only the curious survives. It's a little more proactive, but it's the same thing. What am I missing right now? Things seem to be going well. That makes me nervous.
Exactly. Yeah. It's quiet. It's too quiet.
Yeah, it's too quiet. Yeah. So what am I missing? So that becomes a big motivator in this. We call it outside eyes, and outside eyes can take any form. It's one of the things we call the 4 building blocks of any practice. A big why. What are you doing this for? A strategic plan for getting to your big why. Freedom mapping your processes, and then the 4th one is outside eyes. Mm-hmm. Who or what is looking at this thing and telling you that it's going well or not going well? You need somebody or something, and usually it's a somebody or a group of somebodies who have no dog in the hunt, who can simply say, dude, this is what's going on, and it's not healthy. And this is not good. And we don't care because it's not ours. We have our own thing to protect, but we're not going to protect yours. We're going to be honest. That's a really valuable thing to have. I would challenge everybody listening to this today to think about if they have any outside eyes and how they could find that. So in closing here, you have a bit of wisdom for us coming out of for anyone coming out of dental school, or for somebody who's been doing this for 15 years and might be stuck on something?
Yeah, I mean, if you think it's going to be easier, if you think you got something figured out before you've done it before, think twice.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. That's good. Yeah. So I'll close with this. Here's my bit of wisdom. everybody needs somebody to say 3 magic words to. And the 3 magic words is, I don't know. Where do you go to say, I don't know? You can't say it to your staff, your team members, because they'll put their resumes out. You can't say it to your patients. They won't come anymore. You can't even say it to your spouse, because now they think, holy cow, he actually doesn't know what he's doing. And so now there's 2 of you not sleeping. Where do you go to say, I don't have this all figured out? I think that's a huge learning lesson in all this for me. I went through 5 businesses before I was the classic John Wayne rugged individualist. I got this. It took me a long time to figure out, I don't got this. It's not going to happen that way. So, well, cool. Well, how can people get a hold of you, Sten, if they want to talk to you more?
Call the office or my email, sericson@ericsondental.com.
Very cool. Well, this has been fun, my friend. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot, Chuck. It was fun.
If this podcast was helpful, please subscribe by computer or by phone, or connect with us at www.gottsummit.com, 2 T's, GOTT summit.com. That stands for Get Off the Treadmill. We have those summits quarterly for dental practitioners only. Or connect with us at www.chuckblakeman.com or email us at grow@cranksetgroup.com. Let's get off that treadmill. Let's get into the participation age. I look forward to seeing you in the next podcast. Thanks.